I want you to know how to make this tool that will help with 45-degree angles and straight lines. We've been making a number of patterns in the Seminole Patchwork with Paper series that are made up of bands. And I'm not saying that you've got to make this pattern, but I think you would know how to do it. These are made from, let's say, I think it's two unit wide strips. And what I've done is I've cut them 2 units wide and put them on this paper. Now the easiest way to get these at a 45-degree angle, which is something that we haven't been doing yet, the easiest way to do it is to just find one of my number 2 or my number 3 PDFs and line them up on the long lines. But we're not going to do that that way in this video. That's not what I want to show you. I want you to pretend you don't have one of these PDFs with the 45-degree angle lines on them already. Let's say you want to put your design directly onto a piece of paper, and maybe it's a piece of paper that you can't put through your printer. So let's say I want to put some on this piece of black paper. I want to line them up. I want them to be at 45-degree angles, and eyeballing it, really, you're taking a big chance. So I'm going to say, don't try to eyeball it. Have a tool to use, and an easy tool to use to make that works really well is made from just regular lined paper. Now you can use graph paper, you can use composition paper, you can use any paper that has lines on it. And let me see, these lines are a bit darker on this piece of paper. Okay, so any lined paper. What we're going to do is start off by, and I'll show you why this is so handy towards the end. Start off by bringing the corner down, the upper right hand corner down to meet the left side, and make sure it folds right here at the corner. You're bisecting that corner. It folds right there at the corner. This is sort of like the sort of thing you would do if you were making a square from a rectangular sheet of paper. So I'm holding that nicely in place, sliding my hand across so things stay accurate, and I've got a diagonal fold. Okay, I'm going to do that again on the other side. So same thing, bring the upper left corner over to the right hand side, make sure the upper corner is perfectly folded and bisected there at the top. Everything's lined up nicely. I'm holding it in place, sliding across, not letting anything move. And so now what I've got is something that looks like an X. So now I can make I've got my slope that can go one way or the other way depending on my project. Okay, we're not going to cut this off, but it's an important line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold on that line. Unfortunately, it goes right to a line on this piece of paper, but I'm going to make a scoring line. I'm going to use a pen because it doesn't matter if it shows up or not. Actually, I like it showing up. Okay, there we go. It's a score line, and I'm folding on that score line. Okay, so now what I've got is I've got this, and I've got that. I'm going to make one more fold. This isn't necessary. It depends on your project, and you'll know whether to make this fold or not. I'm just going to fold this piece down. Fold this lower rectangle in half. There we go. Okay. So now here's my black paper that I want to put my pieces on. What I'll do here, let's say I want them around here. Okay, about there. There's my paper right here. I'm just going to put this on here like that. I'm going to go a little further in. I just said I wanted them about here. So what I'm going to do here is first I'm going to make a line. Thinking about making a line. I could make a line at the very bottom point, to line up at the very bottom point, but I usually like to do something more in the middle. So I'm going to use this line. And let's get a little closer now. I'm going to use this line. I'm going to make a dot. And I'll move my paper along. You see, it's in this little pocket here that I've made with that fold in the back. So I know things are staying lined up. Okay. So I've got that. 2 points. I'm going to connect them with my ruler. I'm assuming my pattern is going to go pretty far across, so I'm going to put that line pretty much there. Now I'll put this back in here. And I know that I said that I was going to use that. Let's see, I'll probably do it like this. And so I just want to make a few 45-degree angle lines that won't show. So I'm making these small. You see, they're not as long as my piece of paper. And 2 or 3 should be enough. So now what I can do is take my pieces, that piece of scrap paper, and whenever I want to do diagonal lines, I'll start at a place where I have drawn a diagonal line. I'm lining my point at the bottom of this red square up to, I'm lining it up to the line and making sure I'm keeping it at a 45-degree angle with the line underneath. And this first one is the most important because everything else will be lined up with it. You can see on the back of my pieces, I've marked where the top of this one is. It shouldn't matter which is top and bottom, but sometimes it does. So I'd like to keep them consistent. And so now, again, I'm going to now align this one up with the one next to it, but I'm going to, again, refer to that straight line with the corner of my red square. Get that on there. And it's really important to do that because it's funny how with these diagonals they can really begin to wander. So you really want to keep lining up with that as you're doing your gluing down of these little tiny pieces. Okay? So that's this is the important part about this that I want you to do is just to know how to make this tool and how to use it. If I had wanted these to slant the other way, as I mentioned, you can just take this and fold it in the other direction and turn it over. There we go. And now I could be making my 45-degree angles going the other way. Okay? So when you want to do these kinds of designs with the angle, there's lots of ways of doing them, and this is one of them that I really like. Okay? That's all. Have fun.